Welcome to season 4 of the podcast. Hello, if we haven't met before, my name is Sana. I am a somatic healer, founder of Union, which is an app that helps you regulate your emotions in under 3 minutes and tracks your relationship patterns for you and gives you personalized, guided practices for 10 minutes a day that guide you toward secure love. I am also a matchmaker where I curate dinner parties for conscious singles in NYC and LA, and the first one is in August in New York, and I'll be doing one in the fall in LA. So if you are interested in meeting someone over a beautiful, intimate dinner party with 10 to 20 other singles that are all doing the inner work and genuinely desire authentic connections with others, definitely check it out. All of the links for everything that I've ever created are below. If you want to go deep and do the real inner work to shift your relationship patterns and truly start thriving in love and life. Because I believe if you are triggered and dysregulated at home, it's going to spill out into work, it's going to spill out into your dynamics with the world, and then you are just a less pleasant person to be around in general. So it truly impacts everything around us. It's been a while since I've done a podcast episode. I am launching season 4 of the show today. I have not done an episode for 5 months. I have been on a bit of a hiatus because I moved from LA back to New York. I officially came at the end of January, but we were apartment hunting, couldn't find anything. The market was like crazy. And then we finally found a home that we loved, and it wasn't available for like a month. So we officially moved into our dream home on April 1st. We live in the Lower East Side, and it is a gorgeous condo with a massive outdoor terrace, and my cats have been loving it. Definitely took them a little bit of time to adjust to all of the noise. They are LA cats, born and raised, so it's their first time in New York, and they are slowly but surely adjusting to life in New York. I also didn't want to just jump into this episode because I really wanted this episode to be reinvention of me, of my brand, of my impact and my purpose. And this past week, I have never felt more connected and alive to the work that I'm here to do. So I've also started to see men individually in my private practice because they are so ready for this work. I think they are seeing their wives grow and evolve and show up differently in their relationships, show up differently in their house, show up differently in their body, show up differently in the way that they regulate themselves, show up differently in the way they have more capacity to do so much more than they were doing previously. They are curious. They are really wanting to know, okay, clearly there's something here that works and I want to see what it's all about. And it has been so eye-opening for me to have access into the male psyche in the way that I have had in the past few months, because thought I knew the male psyche because I've been married for 11 years, which by the way, we just celebrated our 11-year anniversary and it was so much fun. And I have a whole Substack article about how this chapter is me living the life of my dreams. So if you're interested in joining my Substack community, check that out below. The work that I've been doing with these men has been really, really interesting because one, they're at capacity. Ladies, our men are at capacity. It's important for us to really see them there, meet them there, and not lose yourself in trying to save them. Because that is the pattern that I'm seeing where for so long, women have abandoned themselves in order to keep the peace, in order to make sure that everyone in the room is happy and satisfied and taken care of, and then I can pour into me. But the work that I've been doing with these women has been to detach from everybody else first and them last, to shifting that. Now it's them first, and then from the overflow, we give to others. Now what I'm seeing is because the women have stepped away from that cultural pattern of give, 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 and don't need to take, that dynamic is shifting in women. So of course, energetically, the men are going to feel that. The men are going to say, you know what, something is different, but I can't quite put my finger on it. My old ways of depending on women is no longer working. What gives? And usually the men have two options here. They can either find the next thing, find the next woman that will do what their partner was doing for them and is no longer doing for them, or they can rise themselves into accountability, vulnerability, and the courage to truly connect with their partners, meet them at this new level of relating. It's not about like, okay, this is like an ascension and women are higher up and men are down below. No, I mean, sort of, yes, but not really, because men are here to thrive in the 3D and women are here to thrive in the 5D. And then the love that you guys create together becomes that bridge between the 5D and the 3D, which is how you literally embody heaven on earth here and now. I'm in a brand new podcast studio. It's called P&T Knitwear, Books, Podcast, Coffee Shop here in Lower East Side. I don't know if you guys know this free podcast room that is available for people to rent out. People are passing by. It's an open window and they're looking at me and I'm making eye contact. It's harder in New York for me to be regulated, to be in my energy, to be like fully embodied in my power. Because in LA, I only was in my own cocoon. I was only in my own solitude. I was only in my own energy. Like, yes, I was hosting incredible dinner parties through Growth Club with my beautiful partner, Carly, business partner, Carly. It was a lot of energy there, but like in a very different way. Like it was like I was able to curate when I wanted to share and open my energy. And now here, it's like I don't really have the luxury of like choosing when I want to open up and when I don't want to open up. Symbolically, I think that's really relevant with the conversation we were just having with like the men. They are now being like involuntarily being asked to open up because the wife has changed and evolved and she stepped into her own sovereign being where she doesn't demand anything from anyone. She's able to be a self-sourced woman. And then from that place, the men are like, wait a minute, I want that. Wait a minute, like that looks like fun. Wait a minute, like that looks like something that I have been deeply desiring, even if they don't have the language for that yet. So that's a big part of it too. Their mind hasn't fully caught up yet, but their body, their nervous system feels the difference, feels the peace, and wants it for themselves. So my husband lately has been talking about like how he really needs to like take care of his mental health, and he's still in the golden handcuffs at work, and like he needs to like get out and make a plan, and all of it is like coming apart and collapsing and the systems are not working and yada yada, right? Like what I've been finding to be really, really interesting, that now that I'm doing this men's work, I'm in the psyche of these men, and it's not just my husband. I'm seeing that it's so many men out there that genuinely are ready to see that the systems are collapsing and something's got to give and someone has to do something about this. So the men are being asked to step into the leadership. And what that means is that the masculine energy within each and every single one of us is ready to lead within. Instead of being so distracted by everyone and everything around you, like, okay, my mom needs this, my sister needs that, my work needs this, my wife needs that, my kids need this, and it becomes too much for the human psyche to hold that much without support. It takes a village, guys. Like, it takes a village. And I don't think people are really understanding what that actually means. It takes a village. And I don't mean that in the traditional sense. It's time for us to create our chosen families. Redefining success is like the first thing that has to come into this situation, right? Like, first things first, we all collectively need to see that the old ways are collapsing. It's okay to say that without fear mongering. So what I mean by each and every single one of us needs to like generate this inner masculine and like lead this whole journey has been about for me healing my hustle mindset, me healing my toxic patriarchal belief systems out of my system, from my mind, from my body, from my nervous system. That's the soul work that my soul came here to do, is see the illusions for what they are and then choose differently and figure it out one step at a time until I find myself at a place in my life where I feel really, really good. I feel really, really proud. I feel really, really fulfilled and satisfied and just like deeply at peace with where I'm at on my journey here and now, without feeling like I can't rest until I get to that goal. I can't live my life until XYZ. None of that language exists in my world and reality anymore. And that to me is like how you heal anxiety, how you heal depression. So a lot of people are struggling with their mental health right now. I really, really believe that we're at a point now in society where we're all awakening to the truth that mental health is a real problem, in terms of you need to seek help. You need to make sure that you're not allowing the voices of culture and tradition that is stopping you from actually allowing yourself to choose freedom. When I say choose freedom, it's a conscious choice. It's so much easier to be stuck in our comfort zone, in the familial, in the ways that we know. The devil that you know is like another saying. And like all these sayings exist in our society. And it's like once you start awakening to all this and you start seeing it everywhere, and you're like, all of the answers have always just been right there in front of you. All of the answers have always been waiting to be heard from within you. All of the answers that you seek in order to like find some inner peace are waiting to be expressed through you, through your like own journey, through your emotions, through your sensations, through your creativity, through your voice, through your words, through your choices. It's so wild to me how many women do not know their truth, don't have access to that voice that is literally your inner compass. It's called your intuition. We all know about it. We all know we have it. Why are we not all connected to it? And then the men want to be connected to their intuition. And then they go on the journey of healing their own emotions. And that's called men's work. And the women gather in circles because for the first time, somebody is listening to their shame and holding it with deep respect and not bypassing it and not telling them fix XYZ in order to heal and then you'll be fine and everything's going to be great and yada, yada, yada. Like ladies, we need to stop bypassing our husband's vulnerabilities. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know it triggers that part of you that's like, everybody needs to be safe, otherwise I am not safe. Everybody needs to be okay, otherwise I am not safe. Everybody needs to be happy, otherwise I'm not safe. Where does that belief system come from? And that is the work that I do with my clients, because everyone's different. And it's been like the most amazing experience of my life. I have literally helped women connect with that inner voice that went offline and now it has come online. I have literally, with my own presence, helped people open up portals into letting it be easy. Letting it be easy. The mountain feels so big and so high for me too, all the time. Right now, Union feels like a really big mountain that's really, really hard to climb. And I'm feeling it all on my body. I'm feeling it in my neck. I'm feeling it in my shoulder. And I am using Union. And I am using it, and I am regulating in 3 minutes. I'm staying connected to my body. I'm doing my breathwork sessions. I am doing my tarot card readings and intuitively tapping into the energy on my own, not through a tarot reader, not through a guru, not through a social media channel, not through anyone or anything other than you and your connection and your direct line of access to your own truth. Journal. Write it out. Put it out of your body. Take that energy and put it on a page. You don't need a prompt. You don't need the perfect pen. You don't need the perfect journal. All it takes is 10 minutes a day to have that direct line of access and connection to your own inner voice, inner truth, inner gut, intuition, inner compass, inner God, whatever you want to call it. That light that is within every single one of us is the same light that is connected to grand source consciousness. So everybody has the same distance access point to this, and that is what unifies us beyond money, status, power, greed, etc. Where it's like the matrix, and this is the life that we're living above the matrix, and then how do we bring those two into alignment in a way that is good for our planet, good for people, good for humanity, good for the future of our children. So like, you don't need to be a woman in order to have empathy, and you don't need to be a man in order to lead. Like the whole point, guys, the whole point of marriage, the whole point of these dynamics and these relationships is to remind you that we are literally here to remember that we are beyond the binary. We are so much more than this or that. We are so much more. And why is it that the call and the desire for more, whether that's money, love, freedom, etc., whatever that more is for you, that is the thread. That is what you follow. That is how you get out. That is how you have a glimmer and a tiny little sliver of light in the distance, and you grasp that and you hold it and you climb it, right? That is the journey. Every single human being on the planet is in some way, shape, or form doing deeper work and finding their own answers and finding their own truths, right? We only see people in a very one-dimensional way, but people are massively multidimensional. And they all have their own things. It astounds me when I think I know my clients and I hear another layer 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 and I hear another layer. And I'm like, wow, people hold so much in. And when we allow ourselves to open, and when we allow ourselves to like truly step out and take a chance and take a risk and do something different and say no and walk away, we do get activated. Our body gets dysregulated. That's a normal part of the process. You're meant to be dysregulated at first, out of your comfort zone and into alignment. Like that is the journey. It's the whole point. We do have a dark period where everything goes dark, everything goes black, and we lose that voice. And that's why I love community connections and hanging out and meetups, because you never know whose energy is going to help open you and expand you in ways that, like, you know, your normal everyday life people maybe can't. Not because there's anything wrong or bad, right? And that was like the biggest thing I had to learn about marriage and my relationship with my husband, where I'm like, I don't need him to be anyone or anything other than who he is, because that's what love is. Like, just genuinely accepting somebody else genuinely for who they are, however they want to be, whether they want to be good or bad, like based on whose definition of good or bad, based on whose ideals, who is the one that dictates what is good or bad. A God, a religion, a way of life, a system, a belief system, a tradition. Cool. Now the question becomes, do we want to still carry this forward now that you and I, babe, are running this household? Now that you and I, babe, are choosing how do we want to live? How do we want to raise our kids? How do we want to lead in our work? What's important to us? What's important to you? How is it that if you have a kind, beautiful heart, and you know you do, like, yeah, we've done shitty things. Like, yeah, we're not perfect, but nobody is. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. How liberating is that? How amazing to know and to realize and to awaken to the truth that there is no perfection. There is no perfect thing. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect way of being. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong is ruining relationships when love just wants to flow through us as authentically as it wants to. I just love that I've been married 11 years and I'm still like excited to see my husband. I'm still excited for date night. I'm still excited to cuddle with him and to fight with him and to argue with him and to love him and to love on him. And just to like really, really, really love our masculine men. Really, really, really hold in love and honor our masculine men. And it's important for women who have risen and have evolved and have the capacity to hold space now, to reward that back into him. He has been holding down the fort for so long, not just for you, but for his mother, for his grandmother, for his legacy, for his family. And now he's like, what about me? What was all for? All of it's collapsing. Fuck, what do I do? I thought there was a heaven. I thought there was a hell. And now I'm realizing that there's not. And it's an identity collapse. Of course, they're struggling with their mental health, guys. Like, our men need us to realize that their mental health issues are not the same as our kids who are learning to regulate their emotions. And you're like, if my kid can do it, why can't he? That lack of respect that you have immediately towards the person that you're supposed to love the most in the whole wide world, when I had that awareness, that was my moment of, whoa, I'm really off alignment here. Because if I say, I love this man, I choose this man, this is my man, and I know that if I'm suffering, I am the creator of my own suffering through our life choices that we get to see, we get to feel, we get to decide. Do we like what we're doing? Do we not like what we're doing? Are we happy here? Are we not happy here? And make that decision for yourself. When women connect, it's so worth it. And when men free themselves from the roles and obligations that the world wants for them and finally choose themselves, it's the fucking best. When I see men connecting with their inner child through the journey of raising their future children and their current children, these are good men. We've been running away from the emotional labor for so long just to come back around and say, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Do, 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 do. I got you, babe. Do, 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 do. Enter the song because I clearly am very tone deaf. But all right, guys, I had a blast. I was so nervous. It's 4:44 on the clock. I am so grateful that New York offers creators with so many free resources, and I didn't have to pay to have a studio space, and I got to like feel New York's energy while doing this episode. It definitely was a little distracting at some points and parts and a little awkward when you make eye contact with somebody passing by, but it's cool. I'm going to see if I like it or not. I'm not going to let not having the perfect logistics stop me from making the thing and doing the thing and putting it out there and just seeing what happens, because that's the whole point. All right, guys, I love you so much. Talk to you soon.